Morning balances on the ridge like a tightrope walker, counting our breaths without promising arrival. Each step signs an oath with mud and trembling, a contract the storm consigns. Direction survives like a wounded sparrow, beating its wings against indecision and fear. Weight learns faith with every sway, and voids listen greedily for mistakes. Strategy is stitched hope, a quilt we wrap around nights that bite harder. Pain speaks the drum language. Our hands answer fluently, grammar taught by urgency. We build small sanctuaries where thunder cannot kneel, yet sorrow gently does. We carry tomorrow uphill carefully, afraid to spill any remaining light. The horizon writes in fire again, and our eyes pretend to read mercy. Names keep better time than courage, ringing evenly while hearts hesitate dangerously. Hunger becomes congregation, and we worship soup with spoons for hymns. The world shrinks to a watchful eye, where fate knocks politely, insistently. Goodbyes dissolve before finishing, but the heart understands the blurred confession. The earth learns choreography of fear, curtsing to blasts and rising stubborn. Hope writes rude drawings in war's margins, disrespecting despair's tidy handwriting. We move thunder by palm and breath, trading burns for borrowed seconds. Time faints under bombardment, later waking with no memory of our names. Ritual erects a roof where words collapse, and grief stands dry beneath. Humor trespasses into metal, leaving small fingerprints where fear forgot polish. The land grows anatomy for our terrors, and we pulse through its veins. Healing is meticulous courage, teaching breath to return without excuses. Even messages get wit here, but meaning dries faster than doubt. Not killing awards a silent medal we hide beneath heavier ones. Beasts negotiate honestly with fear, and their treaties outlast ours frequently. We pass a tiny sun between mouths, a contraband liturgy for courage. The earth keeps iron secrets, we eavesdrop carefully, asking to survive. Love travels wrapped against weather, stubborn enough to arrive eventually home. Nature tries new music, embarrassed by the key we forced earlier. Targets become reflections quickly, and mercy recalibrates aim toward silence. Relief apologizes for its sting and stays, like an awkward friend. We forge constellations with bullets, begging the sky to forget signatures. Arithmetic invites superstition, where survival refuses to balance honestly. Authority sounds human tonight, easier to obey because it trembles too. Compassion learns water's grammar, conjugating rescue in present continuous quickly. Luck is a reckless shield, choosing humble saints with perfect timing. Survival drafts a truce faster than diplomats, signed by breathing and silence. Faith pirates the circuitry, delivering grace along unauthorized channels patiently. Thunder argues with itself, and mountains pretend to take careful notes. Meals tutor us in gentler calendars, seasoning now with the remembered laughter. Innocence refuses to flatten, staying round where edges wanted victory. We tune to courage's pitch, humming together until the bank agrees. Command rehearses restraint, learning that games cost less than guesses. Some seconds wear crowns, ruling empires no map acknowledges honestly. Truth arrives with edges, and imagination steps aside to observe quietly. Gentleness carries its own light, patient with mud, jealous for breath. Music sneaks past grief's sentries, issuing permission slips for momentary peace. Beauty files grievances in soft colors, brave and largely ignored here. Mercy weighs more than anger, but warms the bones far better. Decisions arrive as small letters, consequence enlarges their font later. Even violence lowers its voice near graves, bowing to names unspoken. Paper becomes bridge work home, each ink thump a plank well laid. Love polishes itself stubbornly, resisting stains the world insists upon. Gravity teaches cooperation without speeches, rewarding synchronized breath immediately. Hope is brewed in tin cups, served between stitches and soft amens. Ingenuity escorts pride politely aside, giving endurance the right of way. Nature refuses enlistment, yet keeps time for our fear relentlessly. Plans forgive clumsy lines tonight, preferring humor over perfect accuracy. Peace repurposes brass, conducting green ceremonies for patient witnesses. Paper requests an audience, the river underlines every fragile promise carefully. Refusal is valor without parade, remembered privately by trembling lungs. Endurance becomes official language, 2 words heavy enough for hours. We tutor emptiness to carry us, paying tuition in sweat repeatedly. Meaning crosses borders skin to skin, leaving passports in the mud thankfully. Hope argues with iron tooth by tooth, and refuses to concede brightness. Authority rehearses open hands, and the weather applauds with gentle insistence. We erect a modest monument to restraint, inviting silence to officiate. Counting stops where mercy begins, though numbers whisper under the lid. Respect wears no badge here, only the careful posture of breath. Beauty borrows practical tools, humble and luminous after nights of sirens. Life opens early, selling green to anyone patient enough to wait. Departure is mixed weather of lungs, harsh and strangely comforting together. Childhood files its claim on the sky, paperwork stamped by laughter. Honor chooses quieter company now, shining in darkness without audience. Commerce of small joys reopens, and prices favor laughter over sorrow. Language returns barefoot, stepping softly across rooms swept of fear. We tidy echoes politely, escorting noise to its well-earned rest. Nature edits our chapter with water, approving revisions without footnotes. We pass along cheaper miracles, courtesy that never devalues under weather. Work relearns kindness, trading shrapnel for silverfish and quiet dinners. Crossing becomes music again, composed for timber, patience, and air. Home is percussion and patience, nailing rhythm back into the day. Care becomes doctrine, preached in rows, watered with ordinary grace. History warms future nights gently, stitched from orders no longer needed. Precision discovers friendship quietly, proving accuracy is kin to trust. Security returns as punctuation, convincing the heart clause by clause. Joy invades open space, winning ground doctrine never thought to map. Memory grants citizenship to the absent, sheltering them inside our speaking. Love conducts inventory softly, confirming nothing essential went missing forever. Leaving is the liturgy of lungs, and rails provide the faithful chorus. Peace measures itself in unnecessary neatness and slow, luxurious seconds. We anchor ghosts with dates, inviting them to supervise kindly from shadows. Faith practices ventilation, letting forgiveness and weather share the same breath. Hunger finally speaks in warm syllables, uninterested in sirens or ranks. The world sips from our discarded wars and returns sweetness without apology. Night edits its grammar carefully, changing exclamations into patient pauses. Boundaries become agreements, negotiated by callous patience and measured breathing. Grief prefers simple architecture, steady for weather and returning footsteps. Supply becomes another word for future, arriving on time with quiet miracles. We teach courage without appetite for hate, seasoning memory only with tenderness. We carry the war like porcelain, careful and honest, so peace may pour.